right. So, honestly, I know it's been a minute. Like, I posted on Discord and the YouTube community a while back saying I'd do a Q&A part 2. And here we are, finally, after like 3 whole months. I got absolutely flooded with questions about Project Slayers 2. All the delays, the news, the drama, everything. I've gone through every single one of them, and I'm going to answer the ones you guys asked the most. So let's just get into this. First question. Is Project Slayers 2 going to be a PvP hangout game, or is it all about PvE and boss grinding? Okay, so it's not going to be fully one or the other, you know? It's supposed to be this mix of both PvP and PvE. From what we've seen, the main focus looks like it's leaning towards PvE stuff. Bosses, quests, progression, all that grind we used to. But don't worry, PvP modes and social hubs are still going to be there, kind of like how the first Project Slayers had it. So yeah, it's supposed to be balanced. But if the combat ends up being trash or just not engaging enough, this game's going to turn into a hangout simulator real quick. Like, I'm not even trying to be hopeless on this, but we've all seen games go that route before when the gameplay doesn't hit right. Next question. Why do showcases always get delayed? And let me be brutally honest with you on this one. Showcases get delayed because the owner announces stuff way too early. Like, they'll hype up a showcase before anything is actually ready, and then they realize, oh wait, we're not even close to finishing this. They overhype things, demand more reactions from the community, fall behind on development, and then everything gets pushed back. And it's literally the same thing every single time. And that's just how it's been going. Next is how many BDAs are actually dropping on release. So no one really knows the exact number because the devs keep changing it. They'll say one thing, show barely anything, and then half the BDAs they tease just don't make it to the actual release. From what I've heard, expect around 6 breathings and 6 blood demon arts at launch. But like, don't hold me to that because they could easily change it again whenever they want to. And I'd say just expect a handful to drop initially, and more will probably get added over time, and if they actually follow through with that. And next is, what about moon breathing? Is that going to be there on day 1? Probably not, to be real with you. Look, they've delayed literally every major thing so far. So unless they suddenly speed up development out of nowhere, I wouldn't count on moon breathing being available at launch. Maybe it'll come in a future update, but don't get your hopes up for release day. Next, will Project Slayers 2 have an actual story mode or some kind of plot? Kinda, yeah. So PS2 is supposed to have some form of story or a progression system, but don't expect it to be this beat on an anime level narrative experience. It's going to be more like quests that guide you through the world and help you progress. Basically a quest simulator. And an old tester shared this info a while back, so that's what we're working with. But at least there's something there to follow, you know? Now, here's a question that got asked a lot, and it's kind of a new one that how many players do I think will actually be on Project Slayers 2 when it drops? And if the player count dips, how bad will it be? Okay, so if I had to guess, on release day, if everything goes smoothly and people aren't completely fed up with all the delays, I think it'd easily hit over 100K players. Like, the hype is still there for a lot of people. But if the game launches half-finished or broken, then that player count is going to drop fast. And I mean fast. People have been waiting for almost 3 years now. 3 years. And a lot of players have already quit the community or straight up hate the owner at this point. So if the game doesn't meet expectations after all this waiting, you're going to see a major dip within the first few weeks, maybe even days. It all depends on how polished and fun it actually is on launch. The next question comes, will there be a power difference between Slayers and Demons like in PS1? And I guess yeah, most likely. PS1 was never balanced, and let's be honest, and Slayers 2 probably won't magically fix that issue, because one side is always going to end up being stronger depending on what the devs forget to nerf or buff. It's just how these games tend to go, unfortunately. Balance patches will come eventually when it finally comes out. Next, are they doing an unbanned wave, and what about clan transfers? Nothing's officially confirmed about an unbanned wave. They can barely keep up with regular updates. If you're currently banned, I wouldn't get my hopes up too high. But at the same time, the owner has stated that Slayers 2 is a completely new game and isn't directly connected to the old one, so maybe, just maybe, people will get a fresh start. As for clans, they said only unfinished clans will transfer over, specifically Kamado, and honestly, based on what I've been seeing and sharing, I'm not even sure they'll transfer game passes or anything else at all. It's all kind of up in the air right now.
Now, what BDA or breathing is most hyped to me? And for me personally, I really like serpent breathing for what we've seen. It just looks clean, and for blood demon arts, I'd say arrow or blood sickles. They both look pretty decent, and hopefully they're actually able to use for PvP. But we won't know for sure until we get our hands on the game and test everything ourselves. But let me talk about progression, if there is a skill tree, and will all the breathings have animations? And yeah, Slayers 2 is supposed to have some kind of progression system, probably a skill tree or something similar to what other Demon Slayer games have, but don't expect it to be perfect or fully polished at launch, since bugs will gonna be there, issues will pop up, and they'll fix things over time, not instantly. As for breathing animations, most of them should get revamped and look way better, but from the showcases and snakes we've seen, some might still feel a bit lazy or unfinished. They focused a lot on visuals rather than combat system, so we'll see if the gameplay side matches that quality. Next question is, when is this game actually releasing? Will there be a beta? Yeah, there's still no exact release date, and the devs keep teasing dates and then pushing them back over and over again. So honestly, don't trust anything until the game is literally out and playable. There'll probably be a beta at some point, but even that could get delayed, as everything else has been. The owner recently gave a rough timeline pointing towards next summer, 2026. So yeah, we're still waiting. And here's something I really hope they don't mess up. What's one thing I hope the devs don't repeat from PS1? I just want them to make updates regularly and actually engage. And not gonna lie, for the sake of this community, improve the moderation and staff team. I'm talking about the mods, the ones acting like the biggest losers in this community right now. Just get better mods. Though I know I might still be banned from the game, and I know it's gonna be Noxia's decision since, he totally knows when to submit his school projects on time. I'm just tired of constantly reminding him about deadlines. Am I right, Noxie? I know you're watching this video. Anyway, next question is, which breaths and demon arts are coming first? And I've already covered this in some of my older videos, so make sure to check those out if you missed them. I don't want to repeat myself too much here. Next, most senseless question for me, what about sun breathing? And I don't think sun breathing is going to drop anytime soon after release. I've seen way too many Demon Slayer games where adding sun breathing just completely breaks the balance and makes every other breathing feel useless. And we do know that in Project Slayers 1, they mentioned sun breathing would come in future updates, so it's probably going to follow the same route here. Next,
Is the Entertainment District dungeon confirmed? Not really, to be honest. The devs have teased it here and there in some posts and sneak peeks, but don't expect a fully finished Entertainment District dungeon at launch. It's probably still a work in progress, and knowing how development's been going, it might not come until way later, as much as I think. Next, are there going to be other weapons besides the katana? And yeah, Slayers and Demons will get more weapon options besides just the katana. Stuff like the Serpent Katana, Blood Sickles, and a few others that'll probably get added over time as updates roll out. Next, another senseless question. Will there be hybrid races? And probably yeah. The devs have hinted at hybrid races being a thing, but don't expect it to be fully balanced or fleshed out right at launch. It'll likely work like it did in Project Slayers 1, where it's available for in-game mods at first, but it might get changed later to be accessible for everyone. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Next, will there be any housing system? Maybe eventually, but the devs might add a housing system down the line, but it's going to take a while before it's actually functional. We don't have much info on it yet, so it's all speculation at this point. Will the combat system be the same as PS1? And the answer is not exactly, since Slayers 2 will keep the core feel of PS1's combat, but there's going to be changes and tweaks for sure. Some things might feel better and some might feel a little clunky. And don't go in expecting it to be a perfect copy or even a perfect system. It's gonna have its own identity for better or worse. Next, is this game gonna be pay to win? Alright, let me be brutally honest here. It probably won't be full-on pay to win, but don't expect it to be completely fair either. Some things are definitely gonna be easier or faster if you're willing to spend Robux. So if you're a free-to-play player, expect the grind to feel heavier. That's just how it is with most Roblox games these days. Now, anything else the devs need to work on? Could it release next month or in January? And honestly, there's still a ton the devs need to fix. Bugs, balancing issues, animations that aren't finished, features that might not even be ready yet. A release next month or in January? Probably not. They have a habit of pushing things back until they're barely functional, and as I mentioned earlier, the owner recently delayed the release to next summer 2026, so yeah, we're in for a long wait still. And here's the last question of this video. Will there be in-game events like the Mugen Train from the old game? Yeah, there'll probably be some in-game events eventually, but don't expect them to be as hype or as frequent as the Mugen Train event was. They'll likely drop bigger events here and there, but most of the time it's just going to be standard gameplay. We don't really have much info on that yet, so we'll see what they come up with. Alright, so that's pretty much it for today's Q&A, guys. These were the questions I saw pop up the most about Slayers 2, and I tried to answer them with as much real info as I could, mixed in with my honest opinions, of course. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat things, you know? We'll keep bringing you more updates, more leaks, and facts that sometimes even the devs haven't shared publicly yet. So if this helped you out at all, make sure to drop a like on the video. And by the way, if you want to hang out and talk about stuff like this, or just be a part of the community and stay updated on everything Project Slayers related, join my Discord. It's honestly a pretty chill place to be. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. Also, leave any questions I might have missed down in the comments. I might cover them in the next video, so don't be shy. Anyway, that's all from me for now. So then, catch y'all in the next one. Peace.